everyone, and welcome to another great edition of Stars of Big Sky Country, the series that spotlights those at the high school, collegiate, or professional level that have made an impact right here in the 406. And today we've got somebody who's made an impact on one level and making another at the next level. He is a former CMR quarterback with boyish good looks, and now he's an MSU Bobcat linebacker, still with those same boy bandish looks. And it is the one and only Cole Taylor. Welcome, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, there's like so much stuff that we can cover here. Just your high school career and then this. But we'll start off with a burning question, and that is, since it's football season, we're in full swing. What is the greatest wing sauce of all time?
Oh, I usually just go with the traditional barbecue, honestly, or the dry rub lemon pepper, but I guess that's not really a sauce.
No, no, dry rub lemon pepper works, but okay, you keep it simple. I like that.
Yep.
Well, of course, the first big question in all of these, and this one I'm actually really curious about because if I were you, I would think that it would be pretty awesome. But let's just hear it from you. What's it like to be Cole Taylor?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy journey so far, but I'm loving it. I love being here in Bozeman, and I'm just ready to see what the future holds. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's funny. We mentioned quarterback turned linebacker. You were also on the basketball team for CMR, so you're clearly a well-versed athlete. But I don't think a lot of people see the quarterback to linebacker transition as one that happens all the time. A lot of people see maybe wide receiver, even punter or kicker, or defensive back would be the stretch. But I always have to remind people there was a time when they were both in the league that people made the comparison as far as body size and skill set, Cam Newton and JJ Watt, and it was like the same person, just
Yeah.
completely different positions. So what was it like for you? First, the discussion as far as, hey, we want you to be linebacker for us, and then how has that transition been?
Yeah, at first when I was getting recruited towards I'd say the middle of my junior year, Coach Vegan kind of brought me in, was like, hey, like we like you as an athlete, we like the type of football player you are, but we're thinking of you if you did come here as playing linebacker. And honestly, at first I was like, gosh, you're crazy, like there's no way that's gonna happen. Like I was surprised, but then I started to dig deeper into it with him, and he started to show some examples that they had currently on the team at that time with Troy Anderson and Callahan O'Reilly. So just looking at those guys and seeing the examples that they brought them from playing high school quarterback and slowly transitioned them into playing linebacker at the collegiate level was huge. So I looked at those and was like, dang, I should probably hop on that. And so now that I've gotten here, it's been pretty crazy journey going these first 3 years. The first two were pretty slow, but honestly, it started to click for me, and the game started to slow down. So it's just been a fun journey so far.
Yeah, your dad and I had a pretty good conversation about you going into this year. Taylor's AutoMax is one of the proud sponsors now of Stars of Big Sky Country and other things with the fan show. So him and I talked about it. He's like, yeah, he's looking like he's going to get some significant playing time, which I think a lot of players, if that doesn't happen like second year in, they start to really consider maybe their options now that the portal is like very there and very glaring, kind of staring you down sometimes. But you've obviously been MSU through and through, a Bobcat. So as far as this year and getting the playing time, I mean, what was it expected, like finally, or was it a conversation where it was like, hey, this is it, like you're next man up and it's time?
Yeah, last year they kind of threw me into the fire on special teams and had me playing starting on all four special teams. So I kind of got a taste of what the college game and speed and physicality was like. And going into this year, that they told me that if I had some growth in the spring, that I had a chance to play. So I really took that to heart and really put my nose to the grindstone. Was like, I want to get this done. So I grinded throughout the whole entire spring and summer, and eventually got to fall camp. And I feel like I had a pretty good fall camp, and that ultimately set me up for playing time. And then going into our first game, they told me that I was after the starting group, I was going to be the first guy in. So I was pretty nervous at first, but after that, I think our second drive, our one of our starters ended up going down. So after that, they threw me in, and I've just been starting ever since.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to see some of the highlights. We got you there. Reed Harris is over at Boston College, and your guys' highlights showing up in my feed on a regular basis now. It's just so cool to see. But I mean, at CMR, you were quarterback, two-time second team All-State, I believe, first team for either that or basketball. And then yeah, you have this passing yards record for a single game, 412. But then your little brother, Caleb, came in and broke one of your records. And so now there's a few Taylors in the record books. Of all the records that he could break, are you the most okay with that one?
Yeah, for sure. I was pretty excited when I saw that one go down. Most completions in a career. He's worked really, really hard for that, and been coming in when he was in sixth, seventh grade, and I was in high school, and just watching and studying. So I was really proud of him when I saw that.
And then there's three brothers, right? You're the middle, and then there's an oldest.
Yep.
And
And then
how are you all three in the record books, or just the two of you?
just the two of us right now. He played defense.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Well, still, the Taylor family has been a staple at CMR. Your year was so fun to watch. I know that was my first year, and it set a pretty high bar. I mean, which it did, but I still talk about that crosstown and just how stacked both those teams were and how fun it was to watch. But man, so 6'3", 235 pounds. You're a linebacker now. I gotta ask, which do you like better, quarterback or linebacker?
Ooh, honestly, that's a good question. I'd have to say linebacker now that I've gotten to play it in live action. It's pretty fun being able to not be taking the hits but delivering the hits
I
now.
was gonna say it's probably I get to hit people now instead of running away from my life trying to not get hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, man, MSU seems like a fun place. I've always wanted to know what is the oddest thing that people, like most people, may not know about MSU, or what's the oddest thing that you learned when you got there?
I don't know. That's a tough question, man.
There's a list, probably.
Um, I don't know. A lot of people, some people like to jump in our duck pond that we have on campus. If you get caught doing that, you get in some pretty serious trouble. So I'd say that's probably one of the more odd things going on around campus if you see it.
Right. Well, I've got some, day of game, game day questions for you and everything like that. I'm wearing actually my Cat Spirit Squad
I saw
shirt,
that.
courtesy of Stacy Griffin. When she signed, I said, I want a Cats shirt, but it can't be just a generic, Bobcats or Cat shirt. Like I wanted to say Spirit Squad on it. So I decided to represent during this episode. But let's go ahead and revisit your time in Great Falls before we jump ahead. And, like I said, you were such a phenomenal player there in high school. You played basketball as well. And I think this state really has an impact at all ages for everybody as far as where it's taking you in your life's journey. So one question that I always ask on this series is how did growing up either specifically Great Falls or Montana as a whole shape you into what you are now, which is Cole Taylor, the linebacker?
Yeah, growing up in Montana is something special. Honestly, I didn't see it a whole ton when in high school, but now getting here in college, like hearing all the stories about the kids that didn't grow up in Montana, we're pretty fortunate to grow up in Montana. Knowing literally everyone where you come from, and I think one of the more special things is being able to play against a ton of guys in high school and now being teammates with them is super special. Being rivals against like Ryan, me and Crea were huge rivals. We didn't really like each other in high school, but now we're super good buds. So I'd say that's one of the a big plus about living in and growing up in Montana, and then the support that the state gives you is next to none, and so that's really special too.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's very tight-knit, very cool community. And yeah, Oaks and Devo at Tech are
Yeah,
kind of like that too.
yeah,
Who do you still keep up with from CMR?
yeah. I still talk to my good buddies Gus and AJ. We talk weekly, I'd say, and I haven't talked to Oaks in a while, but I still reach out to him every once in a while.
Yeah, you talked about all the stars from across the state that you played against or maybe heard of. I see Taco Dowler all the time. I mean, how fun is he to be around?
Yeah, going against him in high school, I hated to see those crazy long plays that he'd go. And how can no one tackle him? But now being on his team, I love to see that kind of stuff. So it's been super cool getting to play with guys that you play against in high school, and now being teammates with them has been really, really fun.
What was your favorite memory from your time at CMR?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd say probably just all my senior year, just being able to play with all my best friends that I grew up with and just going out and playing every single night. It might have not have turned out the way we wanted to, but it was just a solid memory for us for the rest of our lives. And just that friendship and brotherhood we built was pretty special.
Yeah, I feel like being a high school quarterback is a pretty fun time. Whether or not you end up 8-0 or 0-8, but when it came to recruiting time, I mean, who was on your radar, and ultimately, what was it that sold you on being a Bobcat?
Yeah, uh, going going into my junior year, I think I got my first offer from one of the frontier schools, and that just kind of kept up and sped up with recruiting. And over time, I think a couple of the frontier schools offered me to play quarterback. I went to a few camps here at Montana State, and they talked a lot to me, kept in touch with me. Went to a couple camps over there across the hill in Missoula, and then ultimately the Cats offered me, brought me in, said they wanted me to play linebacker, and then the very next day I got a call from one of the Grizz coaches, and they ultimately offered me a scholarship too. But what sold me on Montana State was just the special place here in Bozeman and the coaches and family that they built here. I absolutely love the coaching staff and still do, and so that's definitely what sold me on coming here.
Yeah, what's Vegan like? Is he as intense as it seems like on game day?
Yeah, he's pretty intense. He's a guy of small words, not many words, but when he does have some words coming to you, you better be listening and paying attention. But I absolutely love vegan and everything he stands for.
Was there something particular about how you played, or maybe it was just your build that screamed linebacker at them? Because I'm still trying to piece this together. I mean, you were a really good quarterback. You could have lit it up for some of those frontier teams.
Yeah, I actually asked Vegan that same exact question. Why'd you think of me? And what he said is, I watched you play basketball. As soon as I watched you play basketball, I knew you had the aggressiveness and the mindset to play linebacker. So that's the same question I asked
S-
him.
Such an odd compliment, but yeah, I mean, so nothing to do with you on the football field, but the basketball court is like quarterback to linebacker. We're gonna make that switch. Jeez. That's crazy, man. Well, it certainly seems like it's been a good time. We had a couple of fans and people writing questions. I want to make sure I got through all of my stuff here. Oh, has your pregame changed at all? Like what you did pregame as a quarterback for CMR and pregame now as linebacker for the Cats?
Yeah, honestly, it has changed up quite a bit. Now, we get to the stadium probably 2.5 hours before. So it's changed up quite a lot from playing quarterback in high school. I thought we usually got there about an hour and a half before, but my pregame's changed a lot. Oddly enough, I only listen to country music pregame. It's a weird thing, but I'm kind of superstitious about that. Yeah, and then before the game, go out, just do some basic linebacker fundamental stuff, get the blood flowing, and do some simple stretches, and then after that, go back in, try to get my mind right and my mental dialed in, and then just try to get my body calmed down and ready for the game.
Well, sports athletes and superstition say it ain't so. That's crazy. But what about snack wise? You got the same snack or a different one? From the basic Lunchable to now the big variety pack Lunchable.
Yeah, in high school, I honestly didn't really have a snack today before the game, but now I always eat a Rice Krispie treat like 20 minutes before the game is what I usually eat just to, I don't know. I tried it the first game and I played well, so I just stuck with it ever since. Rice Krispie.
Hey man, it's only weird if it doesn't work.
Exactly.
If it starts working, people will respect you for it.
Yeah.
That's the way that motto goes. But man, were you there for the college game day visit?
Yes, I was. It
Okay.
was something crazy. Nothing like I ever seen, but yeah, it was crazy Brawl of the Wild that weekend, and it was something like I never seen, and we're ready to go do that again this year.
What's the future hold for you? I mean, obviously, we've seen some pretty good athletes from both sides, Cats and Grizz, get drafted or undrafted free agents make practice squads and then NFL teams. I mean, now that the Montana teams have shifted a bit into the spotlight on a bit of a brighter scale. Is that something lingering in your mind at all, or have you even thought that far ahead?
Honestly, I haven't even thought that far ahead. I'm just trying to get better every single week. I mean, I've taken a pretty big step in my development, I'd say, but I believe I still have a pretty long ways to go, as my coaches would say too. But just taking it every week, and if that opportunity presents itself way later down the road, then it does. But that's not my main focus right now.
Are any of you guys surprised by the success of Tommy Malott?
No, he's his work ethic is like nobody I ever seen. I actually saw him today. He was back in Bozeman, and just surprised every time I see that guy. Just I learn something new from him every time.
How was it playing with him? Like, was that, I mean, because obviously you don't know until they get that call, until they make that move. But there's certain players that I think you guys all have like kind of an inkling that, they're going to be something. You just wait and watch.
Hmm. Yeah, I grew up watching him in high school. I think I was a freshman and he was a senior, and I was like, geez, this dude's making crazy plays. And eventually he got to Montana State, and I was still in high school watching him, and he was still making unbelievable plays. And then I just dreamed one day of being teammates with him, and it eventually came true. And yeah, it was something special. Like that guy, his work ethic is crazy. His leadership is crazy. Everything about him is just top notch. So he's definitely a role model of mine that I try to be like every single day, and nothing surprises me with him.
Well, as far as life after football, then, what does that possibly look like? Any ideas as far as where you might want to take your talents off the field?
Yeah, right now I'm studying a double major in finance and accounting, and my older brother actually moved back to Great Falls and now is working for my dad as a finance manager there at the dealership. So that's my plan right now, is to probably go back to Great Falls and start my way up, working up the business there in Great Falls with my both my brothers.
Hey, if it's a family business, man, I mean, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That sounds like a really legit path, and obviously a solid one too for you guys, keeping the Taylor name running
Mhm.
and going. Do you want to step into the shoes of your dad at some point then, if you go that route, or leave that to Carson and then take his spot, or how does that work?
Yeah, honestly, that's nothing we'll probably worry about right now. My uncle's there too, so someone's also got to fill his spot. So just trying to get the experience that we can when we do get there, and just slowly making our progress. My dad's not just gonna hand that place over to us, because we'd probably run it into the dirt if we were
Oh,
there all
geez.
with no experience to it. But yeah, eventually I'd say that's the plan, just to once my dad retires, try to take over his position and just try to take that business to the next step.
All right, last one before the speed round and the fan questions. What was your favorite part about being a CMR wrestler?
I'd say the community and the support, just especially Linda Moore, and shout out Linda Moore. She
Yeah.
she's the first one that comes to mind. Just honestly, anyone would do anything for you, and I don't take that for granted. And honestly, I can see that paying off in my life, trying to pay that back when I do get older. So I'd say that.
All right, so a couple of fan questions here. First one, were you Cats or Grizz before signing with the Cats?
I was a Grizz fan because
Wow.
my uncle played for the Grizz way back when. But yeah, I was a Grizz fan.
So did you get that phone call or text from like the betrayal?
um, not really. That they were all really excited for me, and just
Yeah.
excited to follow me for where I was gonna go, and knew why I made that decision.
Well, obviously, a lot of you guys that play football, you're all football fans. Another fan wanted to know, when you made the switch, who was your inspiration for linebacker as far as the way the game is played?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'd say Troy Anderson, just because he's a prime example of switching from quarterback to linebacker and playing the exact shoes that I played in. So looking at him as a role model every day. And then also my linebackers coach now, Jody Owens, he played linebacker here at Montana State, and I love everything about him now. So just trying to live by their examples and their role model, and just trying to be like them is someone I've looked up to.
Okay, another fan asked, who is your favorite running back at CMR?
Who it depends on if that's present or past, but I'd say AJ.
AJ LaFerge, why is that?
just because he's one of my good buddies and we've had some good times together. Yeah, we'll just
Yeah,
leave it at that. Some good times.
that dude can ball out, man. It's so like I've gotten to see him play and everything. You guys are just all a bunch of fun. Is there a version of your senior year where you do sign with a Frontier Conference team, and which team would it have been?
Ooh, honestly, I don't know if I would have if I wanted to take that opportunity at Frontier just because the Cats and Grizz gave me the opportunity to go play Division 1, and that was something that I dreamed of my whole childhood. So as soon as I got that opportunity, I knew I wanted to go and bounce on that.
So it wasn't like seeing yourself in the purple and gold being a Carroll quarterback ever.
Uh,
Um,
AJ and Gus tried to convince me plenty of times, but
I figured as much.
they were close, but didn't happen.
I was like, I'm gonna lead him into this question. Okay, perfect. How intense is the rivalry between Cats and Chris?
Yeah, you really don't understand it till you play in it. It's crazy. It's something you can't even explain until you actually play in it, like I said. But yeah, here in a couple weeks, it's coming down, but we're really excited as it looks right now. If we both win our next two games, it'll be for the number 2 spot in the playoffs and home field advantage for the whole playoffs and the Big Sky Championship.
Yeah, this episode will drop the week of Brawl of the Wild, so we've got a couple of Cats Grizz questions here. One is, what's the weirdest thing you learned about MSU or the football team when you got there?
Honestly, I don't even have an answer to that one.
Okay, we might circle back to that one. Let's see here. Where's the one place you gotta eat when you go back to Great Falls?
Oh, when I go, me and Kreia always joke about this, but we love Taco Treat and Cafe Rio every time we're back in Great Falls. Me and him try to go to the Amigo Lounge because they serve Taco Treat there, and then we also go to Cafe Rio and eat together.
Okay. Go-to place in Bozeman after a game, or I guess after hours. I mean, you're a college kid, you got to eat.
Um, there's a lot of places, but one of the places I like is called Super Chicks. It's similar to a Chick-fil-A, but I think it's better. It's pretty good. They serve chicken sandwiches, pretty good fries too.
Okay. Let's see here. What's the craziest fan experience you've ever had as far as like the rivalry? I don't know how often you get over to Missoula if you ever do in your sport and your cat stuff, but what's been like the most intense, crazy fan interaction experience you've ever had?
Yeah, I'd say my freshman year, when I was redshirting, when we took the trip over to Missoula for that Brawl of the Wild, we were just redshirts at that time, so we were just on the sidelines in our travel suits, and I just remember some of the Grizz fans just heckling us in our ear the whole time. Their crowd is right behind our bench, and I remember our coaches were like, "Hey, don't turn around, say nothing to him. Just if you guys turn around, you guys are going to get in trouble." And I remember someone said something, and I turned around and said something to the guy, and the guy was missing a front tooth. And I started talking some smack back to him, and his wife stood up and was like, "Hey, knock that off, or he might have to come down there and beat your ass." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, send him down here. I'd like to see it."
Dude, fans are crazy. What's the best heckle you've ever heard? Like the line or chant? What's the best one?
I'd say ours is the best during our fight song when we sing "Eat Shit Grizzlies Go Cat Go." That's the best.
How big is that trophy?
Huge. I think it weighs like 300, like 15 pounds around, I think. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, pretty big once you get pretty when you get up next to it, it's huge.
Now, you guys, travel pretty well, but obviously the championship is always in Fort Worth, Texas. How was that trip? What was that like?
Yeah, last year playing in the national championship was dream come true, honestly. You grow up watching those games, wanting to play in the national championship, and just last season was a dream. And we started 15-0, and we got to that last game, and we got into a dogfight with NDSU. And honestly, it didn't turn out the way we wanted, but it's been a learning experience, and we've been trying to build off that this year. But that's something that I'll never forget and live with for the rest of my life. It was super cool.
Who was the biggest inspiration for you athletically growing up, like a family member or even a NFL idol?
Yeah, I'd say my dad. He always pushed me to be my best, and if I wasn't being my best, he would get on my butt and keep pushing me to be my best every single day. So I'd say my dad was a big inspiration for me and kind of laid the foundation of what a strong work ethic looks like and examples of what it didn't look like. So I'd say him.
Yeah, your mom and dad are some of the most supportive parents I've ever seen. I mean, they'll go and watch your little brother play, Friday night until like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then they are on the road, getting ready to come down and see you or fly out to see you. I mean,
Yeah.
how for an athlete at the collegiate level to have success, I mean, a lot of you guys find motivation wherever, but to have that family support, even whether it's at home or away, like how crucial has that been to your success and development as a player?
Yeah, I've been super grateful for my parents being able to come support me throughout my whole entire journey. And I know they're super busy on Friday nights with Caleb's game, and then having to turn around and come travel wherever I'm playing it. And I've just been super grateful for them and their support. And honestly, I don't think I'd be able to do it without them. Just being able to call them and ask them questions and just need support. Sometimes you need that. The season gets long. The mental toughness gets long. So just being able to talk to them and just relax and get things off your mind and leave some stress has been really crucial.
Who on the team has the weirdest pregame?
The weirdest pregame, I'd say Bryce Greavy.
What's his pregame look like?
He he always we have a cold tub and a hot tub, but he always jumps in the cold tub before the game. I'm like, nah, dude, I can't do that.
He's just waking his body up, man.
Yeah.
Polar plunge before the game, every
Yeah.
game. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's got the most annoying habit and what is it? Like what drives Cole Taylor nuts?
Oh, one of my roommates, his name is Coulter Petrie. And honestly, almost every night we're eating, he chews with his mouth open. That's what drives me nuts. So I'd say that.
Was there a worse habit on CMR or do these trump those ones?
Yeah, I'd say these trump those ones for sure.
Um,
Other than Gus and AJ always trying to piss me off, I'd say these ones trump that.
how did they try to do that?
They would just try to say stuff that I don't even know. They knew that would get to my nerves and make me angry.
Oh man. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Do you have a favorite crosstown from your time there, basketball or football?
Oh yeah, I'd say basketball. My junior year at CMR, we honestly came out, played a pretty cool game, and I can't remember. We ended up winning by like 20, I think, but it was a super cool game that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And just everything fell in peace for us, and we just had a super fun night.
Yeah, basketball is actually my favorite crosstown. The greatest one I've witnessed to date was the Tyler Moore crosstown
Yeah,
at Great Falls High. He started the game off with a dunk. It goes, I think, single or double overtime, and then he ends it with a dunk. And then they carried him off the court. That was just like that was one of the coolest
yeah.
things I'd ever seen. But man, that was a game. That was classic.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll
Oh,
agree with you for sure. Basketball is definitely intense.
mhm.
Um, is there anybody from Great Falls High you keep up with?
Yeah, Crea, I keep up with Crea quite a bit, but honestly, other than that, I don't keep up with too many of the Great Falls High kids. I talk to Kale Gunlock every once in a while. I haven't talked to Reed in probably since summer, but yeah, I don't keep up with too many of those guys.
Okay. Well, one of the last questions here before we get wrapped up is what does it mean for Cole Taylor to be Montana tough?
Yeah. I'd just say growing up in Montana has made you Montana tough. Being able to, honestly, a lot of these guys that come here at first they can't stand the cold weather.
They can't
So
hang.
yeah, they can't hang with the cold weather. I'd say that at first. And then just the work ethic. You can definitely tell the work ethic of the guys that are from Montana and the guys aren't. That those guys and me included from Montana just day in and day out try to lay everything on the line for our team. And so I'd say that's what makes Montana tough.
All right, man. Well, I think we've covered just about everything from CMR, Great Falls High, and then now MSU Cats, and possibly life after football and all that. But man, just keep tearing it up, dude. You're doing so well. Like I said, it's so fun to see highlights of people that I knew from my first time there. Your guys' class is always going to be one of my favorite classes of all time. Don't tell anybody else I said that, but you guys are awesome. I'm glad that you were able to make the switch comfortably. I'm a pro defensive guy, so I love seeing it. I really do. And then I got to get, you're one of the first at that level from one of those two teams that I've talked to. I got to get something cats other than the Spirit Squad shirt for the studio here. So
Yeah,
try not
I'll
to,
send you something.
no socks or jock straps. That's my one rule. It could be like literally anything else for the studio, but I have to state that because I just know sometimes you guys are like, he didn't say I couldn't send him this. Oh,
Yeah, I'll send you something.
all right. So, last thing then, how we end every episode. If we could get some Cole Taylor words of wisdom or advice for future cats or even Grizz stars out there.
Yeah, I'd say how you do anything is how you do everything. I try to live by that daily, but honestly, how you do your homework, how you make your bed, how you honestly everything in life, how we do one thing is how you're going to approach the big things in life. So look at those little things and try to do them to the top of your ability, and that will eventually stack into big things and you'll do the big things right.
Oh, dude, that was perfect. That was zen, beautiful, to the point. I love it. Yeah, how you do everything or how you do anything is how you do everything. And I 100% agree. So, Brawl of the Wild, the Big Cat Grizz game is November 22nd at what time, Cole?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, man. So make sure you tune in, get your cats and Grizz gear ready. I'm sure you've probably already been wearing it all season long, but if you save up something special for that occasion, dust it off, get ready, because it's about to go down. Well, Cole Taylor, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you, man. Wish you nothing but the best in the rest of your season. You're having a phenomenal one. Keep that up. It's been a lot of fun to keep up with. Don't be a stranger. I'm sure we'll hopefully talk again soon. But
Yeah.
for Cole Taylor, I am as always the T Man Richard Teeman. And until next time, you can catch us among the stars of Big Sky Country. We'll see you then.